What's going on, you guys? I'm, as always, Mr. Grimreaper with the one and only Dark Knight 97. And before we start with this review for Inside the Ring for Fall Brawl War Games 1998, I want to first and foremost say I apologize. I have not. I was supposed to have done reviews for Rip from the Silver Screen Season 3. And also, I was supposed to have done this review as well back in October. But, as luck would have it, shit went AP, things went bad, and just a bunch of shit happened. So, I never got a chance to do it. And for that, I apologize. But, I'm back. We're going to get the reviews done today. And then you'll be able to see these reviews tomorrow, when I post more shit that I'm going to do. So, strap in. Because me and Dark Knight 987 are going to take you on a little trip back to 1998. This is our review, as promised, for the 1998 WCW Fall Brawl War Games. Was this pay-per-view good? Well, you're about to find out. Welcome, my friends, to Inside the Ring. Enjoy the review. Peace. What's up, everybody? I'm, as always, Mr. Grimreaper 2, and welcome everybody to my channel, along with Dark Knight 97, and welcome to another edition of Inside the Ring. This afternoon, me and the one and only Dark Knight 97 are going to take you back to 1998 as we go through one of the greatest pay-per-views in the history of professional wrestling. This is WCW's Fall Brawl War Games 1998. This pay-per-view was at the sold-out Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It happened on September 13th, 1998. And as always, there was a lot of stuff happening. There was a lot of stuff going on regarding the main event, which was the War Games match involving WCW, NWO Hollywood, and the Wolfpack. And yeah, there was a lot of stuff that happened at this event. One in particular happened during the very first match, which was the British Bulldog and Jim Neidhart taking on the Dancing Fools, which was Alex Wright and Disco Inferno. Of course, you know, during this match would be the cause for many years of British Bulldog. British Bulldog would get hurt during this matchup because when he was getting involved in this match, when this matchup was taking place, British Bulldog, there was a trap door set for the Ultimate Warrior to come out of. Bulldog had no idea. And that's why Bulldog got hurt.
Yes.
So, and this would also be the very first time we would talk about. This would be the first time Rick Steiner will take on his brother, Scott Steiner. Of course, you know, Scott and Rick the Steiner brothers were one of the greatest tag teams in the history of professional wrestling at that moment in time, until Scott Steiner decided to fuck over Rick and joined the NWO.
That's right.
And what happened was, 1 month prior, in August 1998 at Road Wild, Scott Steiner refused to face his brother. Apparently, Steiner and Buff Bagwell, of course you know this year, sadly this year, Buff Bagwell lost his mother, the legendary Judy Bagwell.
Yes.
Rest in peace, Judy. You were one of the most hilarious individuals that I've ever seen in my entire life.
She was.
In professional wrestling. But yeah, but Judy got involved with several things that Buff did in his wrestling career. We'll talk about Judy Bagwell another day, but
Sure.
But of course, but you know the story. If according to J.J. Dillon, 1 month prior at the 1998 Road Wild, which we will talk about another day. If Scott did not face Rick at Fall Brawl, he would be permanently banned from WCW. That was the ruling set by J.J. Dillon. But apparently, you know, when we get to the match, we'll talk about it because
yeah, we'll talk more about it.
I think what happened in that match was complete bullshit. Really, be honest, what happened between Scott and Rick Steiner was just bullshit. I think Rick should have won the damn match, but the match went to no contest. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. So there was another problem during this matchup as well. There was another problem that happened during the pay-per-view involving Saturn, involving Perry Saturn and Raven. Now, as you know, Saturn was originally a member of Raven's flock at the time.
Yeah.
Raven Raven decided if Saturn won the match, if Saturn won this particular match, Raven's flock would be set free. Everybody involving Raven's flock would be set free. I'm talking about Canyon, Lodi, Billy Kidman, Sick Boy, Scotty Riggs. You know, a plethora of people who were involved in the flock would be they would be disbanded. So there was another matchup as well. Involving Chris Jericho against a Goldberg impersonator.
We know who the guy was. No, it's not Gilbert. It's when you're thinking it was somebody else.
Yeah, it was a different person. Because I had thought too. Because that's what I had thought too until Knight told me.
Yeah. It wasn't. It was somebody else. When I watched this event, and I just remember that match, it was just a shorter, bald-headed guy. I don't even know who he is. There's no information on him. I mean, I can't click his name here, or otherwise I would have known who he was. But
yeah,
it was just yeah.
But So apparently Goldberg and Chris Jericho were having trouble in the backstage area. Personally, and this match was made. So, they also had. Okay, so we get into the very first matchup of the night. which was the British Bulldog and Jim Neidhart
Yeah,
against the Dancing Fools, Alex Wright and Disco Inferno. Yeah, British Bulldog and Jim Neidhart both passed away. Uh, but yeah, as I was saying before, the British Bulldog. This is where the trouble began for Bulldog because uh, Bulldog did not know about the trap door that they set up for Warrior, which would be later on during the War Games match.
Exactly.
But yeah, it was just it was just a bad thing and stuff like that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But they ended up, but Bulldog and Neidhart ended up winning the match against Wright and Disco Inferno. Okay, so the next matchup was Chris Jericho against that Goldberg impersonator, which I think is bullshit because I think if Jericho really faced off, if Jericho was a bitch, Jericho was a pussy.
I hate him then.
And I think Jericho should have gotten his ass handed to him by Goldberg, but apparently this was Jericho's idea of saying that he was better than Goldberg and all this other stuff, and it's a bunch of bullshit, really, to be honest.
Yeah, of course.
But what did you think? What did you think of this match, man?
What is the Jericho and the Goldberg guy?
Yeah, the first two matches we talked about, the tag and the other one.
I just want to say first off that I feel bad for the Bulldog because according to on his page, according to what it said there, he took 2 bumps in that match.
Yeah.
And he landed twice awkwardly on the trap door that they had set up for the Warrior to enter, and he nearly got paralyzed.
Yeah.
But they're in the middle with a spinal infection. Thus, he got terminated after that, and then he became addicted to the painkillers and the morphine and stuff like that. But anyway, but in the end, I mean, they ended up winning. But of course, I guess poor Bulldog had a bad night that night, but it was a great match. Like I said, those two, God rest their souls, they're not in British Bulldog, but no longer with us.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry guys.
As I was saying, I'm here. Sorry about that. Anyways, I was saying, God rest both their souls. They're no longer with us, but it was a great tag team match nonetheless. Also, this whole thing with Jericho had in his head that, I can beat Goldberg. I'm challenging Goldberg, and he brings up, for weeks on Nitro, as if you know, on Nitro, if people watched Nitro that year, Goldberg would bring out Jericho would bring out this fake Goldberg. But he had you think, he's going to challenge Goldberg, this is going to be a good match, but all for nothing. Because he was a coward, he didn't want to face the real Goldberg, so he brought out this impersonator. And that's exactly what he did at Fall Brawl. But there was one time where Goldberg, let's just say, changed the plan to Jericho. I don't know where it was. I think it was on either a Nitro or something.
Oh, hold on, dude. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on, guys. Yeah, Mom?
Hey, are we done taking your sucker fate?
Yeah, I took the sucker fate for 12 o'clock.
Okay, because we have to get your medicine through. Okay, bye.
Alright, bye. Sorry guys, I'm probably gonna have to, when I edit it, I'm probably gonna have to edit that out. But, it was my mom, but go ahead, man.
Sorry about that. So, for weeks on Nitro leading up and into the Fall Brawl, Jericho will bring out this Goldberg impersonator instead of facing the real Goldberg. He was going around saying, I can beat Goldberg, I'm going to face challenge the real Goldberg, but it was just an impersonator.
Yeah.
But I don't remember when it was. It was a Nitro, or I don't remember where. But
it was if I remember correctly, I think it was a Nitro. Because
like I said, Goldberg changed the plan to Jericho because Goldberg came out with the impersonator on his shoulder, and thus derailing the plan to Jericho. So I remember that. And, but yeah, dude, I hated Jericho then when he was like that. I hated when he just like, there's like a fuck you to like, You know.
Yeah, it was a huge fuck you to Goldberg, and I think
Basically.
what they did, what Jericho has said in interviews now, that him and Goldberg had a personal that they hated each other for real. Personally, I think Jericho. I think if Jericho wasn't a pussy, Goldberg
Yeah.
would have kicked his teeth down his fucking throat at this event. I really believe that. But he's a chicken shit. Jericho was a chicken shit. Another person who I think was an asshole during this time in WCW was Ernest the Cat Miller.
Yeah.
Now this whole thing between Ernest Miller and Norman Smiley happened because Mike Tenay was talking to some people, was talking to two guys. I guess they were gonna debut soon in WCW. I forget who they are. And then Ernest Miller just went out there and just attacked these guys for no reason. And then Norman Smiley told off Ernest Miller. That's how this match was made. And Ernest the Cat Miller, he won the matchup against Norman Smiley. What did you? I don't know what to really think of Norman Smiley because I didn't really. During I think he started doing the hardcore stuff like a year later in '99.
99, like mid 2000. Yeah, he started. Yeah, I thought Norman Smiley was and to me, he was kind of a funny character because the way he would do I don't know what he would call that move. It was
Yeah, he calls it the wiggle.
the wiggle. Yeah, like, what is this guy? But he actually was a pretty good athlete. And reading here, I didn't know he was actually born in England.
Yeah.
I did not know that. He's from England. And he's an English American, Anyway, but he was a little weird to me, but he was a good wrestler. Then Ernest Miller, of course, was a jerk at the time. Now, Ernest Miller, many of you may or may not know, had a role in the 2008 film The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that for a back in time.
Yes. He played the wrestler heel by the name of the Ayatollah, who wrestles Randy the Ram at the end of the film. Like Grim said, we'll talk about that later. But anyway, he was a jerk back then, and I hated him, but I remember though when Ernest became a face again, he was really funny and he made fun of a lot of people. And one of the people he made fun of was Scott Steiner, who went by the nickname Big Papa Pump. And Ernest would say, you listen to him, Big Papa Dope, you become dope instead of Papa. It was funny.
Yeah.
But that was a good little match between those two. I know Ernest Smiley stood up for Ernest Miller was a jerk, and like Ernest was telling he attacked these guys for no reason. So Ernest Smiley decided to put a stop to that, and that's what led to this match here. So a great match between these two. And although Ernest Miller ended up winning, well, great match.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the next matchup, which is the brother versus brother match. And as I said before, 1 month prior to this, at Road Wild, Scott Steiner was supposed to take on Rick Steiner. But that match never happened because Scott Steiner apparently got hurt. Both him and Buff Bagwell apparently, and I'm using quotations by the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too.
Got hurt and all this other bullshit. Again, at Fall Brawl, at this pay-per-view, again, the match went to no contest because Buff Bagwell and Scott Steiner wants to be doing full of shit crap.
Yeah. Chad fucking winner.
And he pretended Buff Bagwell is a chicken shit because he decided to pretend like his neck was injured again.
Oh.
And all this other bullshit. And Buff Bagwell, dude, I'd really be honest. And then the bullshit. Oh, by the way, the next time we talk about a WCW pay-per-view again, which will be the next time we do Inside the Ring, we're going to talk about what happened after this pay-per-view. We're going to talk about the 1998 Halloween Havoc. because I want to get, because I got some shit to say about that shit. I got a lot of shit to say about Halloween Havoc. There is some shit that I hated about the '98 Halloween Havoc, and I got a lot of shit to say about that. So that will be the next episode that we do for Inside the Ring.
Sounds good.
Because immediately following this, we're gonna follow the 1998. We're gonna follow from Fall Brawl to Halloween Havoc. We're gonna talk about Halloween Havoc the next time we do this again.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, Scott Steiner is a piece of shit. Buff Bagwell is a piece of shit. They're both chicken shits. Steiner didn't want to face his brother. He did not want to face Rick. But no, all this other bullshit. And then we go into Halloween Havoc. Let me talk about the matchup at Halloween Havoc.
Go ahead.
It was supposed to be a tag team match. Buff Bagwell apparently was now babyface now, because according to what I found, according to everything else, Scott Steiner turned on him and all this other stuff, or Buff Bagwell turned on Scott Steiner. I don't know. I don't really remember.
It was Buff that did it. I remember this. I remember it was Buff that turned on Rick Steiner, excuse me. And then later in the match, somebody comes out dressed with a Bill Clinton mask that was Buff Bagwell, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And shit like that, and I don't know. It was just...
And then again, I want to talk about the whole Chucky thing, because Chucky, the lead off for Halloween Havoc with as far as Rick Steiner was concerned, Chucky of all places, of all people, Chucky, the freaking killer doll, decides to show up on a fucking episode of Monday Nitro. They did the same shit. WWE did the same shit. Of course, you know, the Steiners have a nephew and Rick's son.
Rick's son is in that now.
They did the same shit with Rick's son in NXT. So yeah.
Anyway.
But I don't know. I don't know what to say about all that, man. I just think it's stupid. I think it was. That whole thing. And now that I'm older, I think it's really stupid that they did that. Don't get me wrong. I love Brad Dourif. I love Brad Dourif. And at the time, he was trying to promote. I think it wasn't Seed of Chucky. It was because Seed of Chucky didn't come out until later. It was Bride of Chucky, if I remember correctly.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was Bride of Chucky that he was trying to promote. Because that was the one where Tiffany showed up. We'll talk more. Probably next Halloween. Probably next October when we do a Ripped. I want to get to that very soon. I want to get to Bride of Chucky.
We will. We'll touch on that.
But yeah, this whole thing between Rick and Scott, the match went to no contest, and then the tag team match also, Rick Steiner won both tag team titles because Buff Bagwell decided to fuck him over again.
Fuck him over, yeah.
And yeah, it was just bullshit. But what did you think of this match, dude?
Well, dude, I gotta say, I wish we had a winner. Because Scott Steiner, as my partner said, as my friend said, was a coward. Because when they had the chance, when Rick had the chance to get his hands on Scott Steiner, because you know, he's the one to do that year since Scott turned on him and joined the NWO. But Scott was being a chicken. He would not face his brother. And that's when Jay the Deal stepped in and said, you know what? If you do not face your brother in a match, I will ban you from WCW. If you ever refuse again to wrestle your brother in any way, shape, or form, and of course they had to play that they were hurt, play that whatever. It was just excuses. And when Rick Font had the chance, no contest. And it was ridiculous Buff Bagwell got involved. And then, of course, Halloween Havoc, so before Halloween Havoc, Buff Bagwell claimed to turn over a new leaf. That he was going to turn good, he was going to help bring him. And that apparently Scott pushed him or kicked him out, or I don't know what the story was. And then when they went to the match of Halloween Havoc, everything was going well until Buff, turns on Rick, and then it was all an elaborate plan that probably Scott sent her Bagwell to make it look like he mistreated Bagwell or something and kicked him out and all this stuff. So that was just anyway. I just wish I had a clear winner here. I wish Rick could have beaten his brother because we all wanted to see that match. Ever since Scott turned his back on Rick to join the NWO back at Fall Brawl or Super Brawl, rather. And we've been wanting to see it. We got to see it, but not in a way we wanted to. So.
Yeah. So the next match after this, I thought was a really good match too. I thought it was a good match. It was the Cruiserweight Championship between Juventud Guerrera against the late Silver King. Silver King came out. I love Silver King.
Yes.
And Juventud Guerrera, one of the greatest wrestlers, two of the greatest luchadors in the history of professional wrestling, duking it out for the Cruiserweight title.
Yep.
It was a good matchup, and I love in the end, Juventud Guerrera defeated Silver King for the title, but both guys put on one hell of a show. But what did you think of the Cruiserweight title match between King and Guerrera?
Well, when it comes to Cruiserweights, they will fly through the air. They put their bottom line no matter what, and that's what it was about. That's what Juventud and Silver King. That's what luchadors do. Next to they were high flyers. They flow in the air. That's what brought that over here to the States too. And I gotta tell you, it was a great match. Of course, Silver King, God rest his soul, he has passed away. He died, guys, not that long ago, in 2019, 2 years ago. And many of those of you may know he was also the villain in the hit film, the 2005 film, Nacho Libre. He played Ramses, the golden luchador that he fights at the end of the film. And of course, actually, it says here, interesting fact, he actually wore that same outfit in real life when he defended his UWA World Light Heavyweight title. So he actually wore that outfit. So it was really neat that he used that. But yeah, he was. I had no idea in the beginning who played the villain in Nacho Libre. I didn't know it was actually Silver King. But anyway, two high flyers, great match. Of course, Juventud Guerrera coming out to Victor, the Juice. It was a great match, and again. Yeah, so Silver King. It's a shame that he's no longer here with us, but what a great cruiserweight matchup. Like I said, they were put there, fighting the line, high flying all over the place, moonsaults, whatever you have, you jumping outside the ring. That was the best part I liked about that was when they go outside the ring and the guy will jump on the ropes and do a crazy, insane, midair thing, and that was really cool about that. So anyway, great match. Two high flyers. It was really good.
Yeah. So the next match after that is the Raven's Rules match. It was Saturn against Raven. Raven would be accompanied to the ring by the late Canyon and Lodi. And before we start, I want to say, me and Knight did watch Canyon's Dark Side of the Ring. God, man, Jesus. Canyon went through a bunch of hell. Especially because when people found out he was gay, shit, I didn't even know that. I had no idea he was gay, and I had no idea he was. There was a bunch of shit that happened with Canyon that shouldn't have never happened. The whole Boy George thing was just. I think the whole Boy George thing that he did with Undertaker, I think that was Vince's way of fucking burying Canyon.
Yeah.
When he found out that he was gay and stuff like that. But God, man, I Chris Canyon is gonna be missed a lot.
Yeah, terribly. Yeah, with him wrestling, you think he would be, oh man, the ladies will love this guy, but you think when I watched Canyon's career, I had no idea that behind the scenes that he was gay. I had no idea, and I have nothing against if you're that way, that's okay. I'm not gonna judge you, but. And I had no idea about Canyon, but yeah, he will be missed, and I tell you,
when did what pay-per-view was it? It was a pay-per-view, I think. Canyon got thrown, I don't know how many feet, maybe 15 stories high, 15 feet, from the triple cage all the way down to the damn map below. Yeah, Canyon got hurt bad. And
I don't remember where it was, but yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
But yeah, Perry Saturn won the match against Canyon, against Raven, with help from Kidman of all people.
That's right, Kidman.
Yeah, Billy Kidman would get rid of the flock look altogether and I think the night after this he would start wearing the white muscle shirt.
The white beater, yeah.
With the jean shorts.
Yeah. So Saturn 1 does freeing the flock from Raven. So, and that was a good match too. I mean, yeah, of course, as you know, Saturn was with the flock beforehand a while back, and Raven, I guess, started getting. I guess because Saturn lost a match or two, and he started getting frustrated with him and kicked him out or something like that. And Saturn hadn't had enough of what's going on. But that was a good match between those two. And of course, Saturn, as you know, Saturn went through a lot. He was really went down through some troubles, but he's bouncing back slowly. But and of course, Saturn, I felt bad for him. But other than that, though, I mean, yeah.
That's another motherfucker that I feel bad for.
Saturn, yeah.
Especially, I don't even know. I think they try to bury him in WWE with the whole moppy shit.
That was strange. I mean, apparently with a moppy and then his eye. But his eye looked, like.
Yeah, his eye looked like really fucked up too.
Yeah.
But the next match after that was Dean Malenko against Curt Hennig. Rick Rude was with Curt Hennig. I think they were both. I think wasn't Curt Hennig with NWO at that time?
Yes, yeah, they were in the NWO faction.
Okay, so the match went to no contest.
I mean,
Dean Malenko won the match by disqualification.
Yeah, I believe Ru got involved.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Sorry.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm going to say I believe Ru got involved because of that.
Yeah, and then this matchup, Jesus, man, I felt so bad for Scott Hall in this match because Scott Hall took on Conan, and dude, Scott wasn't himself.
This is where he started to.
Yeah, this and Halloween Havoc is when he really started going downhill as far as the drinking is concerned, as far as the drug shit, and I don't know. But what do you think about this matchup, dude, between Conan and Hall?
Well, it could have been better if Scott didn't. I mean, he started with the drinking. He would show up, kind of already had it, as like he had a few. Now, if Scott was more sober, I think that match could have gone a bit better. But when I watched the match, you can just tell Scott was not. He was not.
Yeah, he was not himself.
Yeah, he was not, and like we also pointed out, Helen Havoc too. I mean, same thing. He was already going downhill, and he went down, and he had a long, horrible fall. But you know what? He managed to overcome that with the help of DEP, and he looks great now, and he's doing better for himself. He realized what all the hell he is not putting himself through, but people that knew him through. And
yeah.
But anyway, it was a good match. But again, it was an okay match. Could have been better, in my opinion.
So we now go to the final match, which is the War Games match. Now the rules for this match are simple. Two men. It was basically the Royal Rumble. It was basically the Royal Rumble style, where two men would start after, I believe, a 60-second interval. Another man would enter the match according to number drawn. After all 9 men would enter the match, war games would begin. And the way to win the match is by pinfall.
Or submission.
Pinfall or submission. And during the matchup, a lot of shit happened during this matchup. Of course, going into the match, the whole thing between Bret Hart and Sting, that was going into this matchup.
Yes.
The problems that Hollywood Hulk Hogan was starting shit with Kevin Nash and the Wolfpack. That was going into this as well. Roddy Piper had his own fucking agenda with Hogan and and so did Paige and one man in particular had his own share of fucking problems with Hogan, and that's the Ultimate Warrior. The Warrior. And I think, what did you because I don't know if I have a hard time remembering. But what did you think? But what exactly did you think, dude, of Warrior's time in WCW?
Well, it's nice that they kind of made him something different rather than the average Ultimate Warrior. Let me know. They call him the Warrior, which is a better, instead of using the same name that he, in the WWF. I think it was a better. Although it was not very long that he was in WCW, but I think it was a bit better character that he used, which is the Warrior. And and Hogan was the top of the mountain as the top heel of WCW at the time, and everybody was starting, fans liking WCW, some fans still didn't. It was back and forth, and Hogan was the top bad guy, but one of the most historical matches in WrestleMania history with Hogan and Warrior, WrestleMania 6. That was the most historical match I will never forget. And so Hogan was at the top of the world, and that Nitro, when we heard this music playing, and then we see somebody coming out, and you can see Hogan's face, and his lip was like quivering, because he knew who his past had come back to haunt him when the Warrior debuted in WCW. And Hogan thought, hey, I'm the top guy. He doesn't come say otherwise, and he probably just didn't even know about Warrior at that time. So Hogan knew his past came back to haunt him when the Warrior showed up. So I think it was a better portrayal for the Warrior.
Yeah.
In a way more darker. When it comes out, it's more dark, more, but yeah, Piper had his share of problems. God rest Piper's soul with Hogan. They had to share battles. Of course, the first time they met was the first WrestleMania, and that huge tag team match, which we talked about already. At WrestleMania, the first WrestleMania. And of course, and then Kevin Nash, who had gotten, I think, booted out of the NWO Hollywood, started his own NWO, which was the Wolfpack.
Yeah.
And he would recruit the likes of the late Randy Savage. He would recruit Conan. He would recruit even Sting. When Sting decided to join the Wolfpack, I remember NWO Hollywood trying to get Sting to join them, but in the end, Sting chose to go to the Wolfpack instead. And so it was a war between the Wolfpack and Hollywood too, as well. But WCW was also in the mix.
Yeah.
But this match was, This had three teams, and I remember War Games used to have two teams against each other. It was one team versus one team. That was it.
Yeah.
And now this one had 3 teams of 3 in this one. This was the biggest War Games they've ever had. Wow.
But what happened during this matchup was that during the matchup, Warrior Hogan was supposed to come out. Hold on, dude. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Sorry. But anyway, if y'all guys can still hear me, sorry. Warrior was supposed to come. Hogan was supposed to come out during his when he was supposed to have come out.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. Hogan came out before then. that's when the whole trapdoor thing happened with the Warrior.
Yeah.
Warrior came through the trapdoor that was under that was in the middle of the ring, I think.
That's right. It was the first time he appeared, and the smoke fills up. He vanishes, and then the next thing you know, he comes running down the aisle. It's like, how the hell did you do that? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because if I remember correctly, I think all the members of Hollywood came out and attacked Warrior.
Yeah.
And then they all came back in. Warrior. I'm trying to remember what happened next. Warrior, the freaking pyro went off. And here comes Warrior. And we don't know where the fuck Warrior came from. Because Warrior was in the damn ring.
Well, yeah.
So how the fuck did he get from point A to point B? From the ring, and I don't know.
That's the mystery. It's like it's like you're asking the question, how does Undertaker appear into the ring when the lights go out and when they come back on, he's right there behind you. He's like, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You
right.
Do not know how it works. And yeah, because I remember watching that match. When Warrior came out in the ring, you saw he was beating his chest, doing his famous, taunts that he does. And then when AEW would go to get him, the smoke fills up the ring, and the next thing you know, when the smoke goes away, he's gone. And it's like, and then as Grim said, the next thing you know, about 3-4 seconds later, when he comes running out down the aisle, it's like, how in the hell did he do that without nobody seeing it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's no way, and then the lights were still on when that happened. You know what I mean? Usually when the lights are off, you can kind of tell how the Undertaker does it, because the lights go out, the lights come back on, Undertaker's in the ring. The lights were still on during this matchup.
Yeah, so I don't know how that worked. But yeah, and I've seen videos of people when they're there live watching the event, how Taker showed up and whatever. You can kind of tell in the dark when the cameras are flashing, you'll see a figure come out and then get in the ring, and vice versa. When the lights go back out again, he'll get back out and get under the ring or something like that. That's how. Yeah, I've seen videos like that.
But there's no but for here, you can explain it. How Warrior got from point A to point B.
Yeah, you can explain it.
You know what I mean? But what did you think all in all of Fall Brawl War Games?
It was a good match. I love matches like that. And as my friend, it was like a little bit of Royal Rumble style in a way, but you're on team. But you're on team. But the one man that gets the victory wins the match. And according to this, the one man who won the match would get a title shot.
Yeah.
A title match. Ended up being DDP when he gave the diamond card to Stevie Ray and pinned him 1-2-3. So Paige would get the championship match.
Yeah.
Because it was all about the win. So, but I kind of like this thing. It was like Royal Rumble mixed with a little bit of with 2 rings. Think of it as a 2-ring Royal Rumble with 2 cages. I like that. The 2 rings and then 1 big cage around it. It's a great match. And according to what we know, the late Dusty Rhodes came up with this War Game match. It was inspired. He said it says here was inspired by viewing a Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Which is one of my favorite movies. I love Beyond the Thunderdome. So
Dusty Rhodes created it because he got inspired by the Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome movie, and so I loved it. And now we know that NXT does it now, but I really wish I could bring it back for the main people, but But I like War Games match. This was a great match. You had 3 teams, pretty popular teams, with a lot of hatred with each other, battling it out. But in the end, it was DDP with the win. Great War Games matchup. Man, I gotta tell you, it was a battle.
Yeah. So what do you think we should give WCW Fall Brawl 98?
Well, as a fan of the 90s and me growing up with WCW, I would have to give this a 10 out of 10 because you can't go wrong with a classic event like this. And if given the chance, I watched it again, unedited, of course, not WWE edited, but unedited. Yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10 because this was a good event, although some results we weren't happy with, but in the end, it was what it was. I give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I have to agree. I got to give it a 10 out of 10 as well too. This, even though there's some stuff about this pay-per-view that I hated,
Yeah,
exactly. I think that this one deserves a 10 out of 10. Fall Brawl was really good, and I liked it a lot, but I got a lot of shit to say. Jesus, man, when we get to Halloween Havoc, in the next couple of weeks, and the next the next time, episode 4, I think this is episode 3. I think episode 4 will be Halloween Havoc. Will be the '98 Halloween Havoc. And y'all guys are probably asking, well, Grim, it's not Halloween yet, man. Why? It's not October. I know it's not October, but I don't give a damn. I'm still gonna talk about Halloween Havoc because I gotta get some shit off my chest about what happened at the '98 Halloween Havoc, including one particular fucking match, and that was the Ultimate Warrior against Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
The main event.
That one of the main events at Halloween Havoc, and that pissed me off. And
we'll talk about that.
Not to mention, I ordered the fucking thing the first time. I ordered it, and I wanted to talk about that too. If you guys don't remember what happened, there was a blackout. There was a blackout that caused many people. That caused many people to have to rewatch the pay-per-view over again. It happened during the last matchup, which was Diamond Dallas Page against Goldberg for the WCW World Title. Do you remember this, dude?
Yeah, I do. As a matter of fact.
Yeah, the pay-per-view cut the fuck out. The pay-per-view cut out during the championship matchup. And that pissed me off to no fucking ends.
Ditto.
And yeah, we're gonna talk when we talk about Halloween Havoc. When we talk about Halloween Havoc, we need to discuss that fucking blackout because I'm pretty sure many of you '90s kids that ordered that pay-per-view all the way back in the '90s saw what happened that night and stuff like that. But yeah, we the next time we do Inside the Ring will be Halloween Havoc 1998.
Cool.
I am, as always, Mr. Grimreaper 2 with Dark 997. Coming up next, we are going to begin Ripped from the Silver Screen for the one and only Dark 997. I am, as always, Mr. Grimreaper 2. And we'll see you all in the afterlife. Peace.